name is Selena. I'm back with a new video, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I have hauled from the first 6 months of the year, pretty much. So if you see how empty my shelves are, it's nothing compared to my TBR cart. So I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because I have a ton of books. I don't want to count them because that's shameful. It will be shameful, the amount I have. But the first book I bought of the year was The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. This is a adult fantasy that kind of is about this family who comes together after their matriarch of the family dies and there's magic involved. It sounds really great. I know that Angela from Literature Science Alliance really loves this book, and I would like to really love this book because look at how beautiful it is. I got this on sale when Barnes & Noble was doing that, like, I don't know, 50% off hardcovers sale. Like, I didn't really cash in on that because I was late to it. But I was able to get this because they kept this one on sale for a little bit longer than the others. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna start a pile here, but no, there's no way that all of the books will fit there. Like, there's just no way. The next book that I got, because I expected to be reading it in January, but then I put it in the mug, and I've since like actually stopped reading this and put it off further because I just wasn't in the mood. But Guns of the Dawn by Adrian Tchaikovsky, I got this because Alan from the Library of Alexandria is very much obsessed with this. This may have been a gift, but I don't know. But all I know is it's like flintlock fantasy meets Jane Austen. The next one was absolutely a gift from my friend Udi. He sent me Age of Assassins by R.J. Barker because he read it and really liked it. And I've heard since that it has possibly Farseer vibes. And I like Farseer, so I'll get to this at some point. Then I got this gorgeous book, Wildwood Dancing by Juliette Marillier, because I'm pretty sure I picked it out of the cup for me to read in February and I didn't get to it and until like I didn't finish it until like April or May or something shameful like that. But I got it back in February because I anticipated on reading this. I really like this. I gave it like 4.5 stars. And it's basically a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling with very slow historical atmospheric vibe. I would recommend this for fans of Bear and the Nightingale if you don't mind your books running a little bit younger. Then we have a book that I don't remember the circumstances in which I bought this. I think it was on sale or something, but I don't know. It was good circumstances. And it was a new release that I was really excited about once I heard about it. River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I actually heard this from Elliot Brooks's channel, and I still haven't gotten to it, but I had planned to read it this month and it's now being pushed to next month. This is like a low fantasy, islandy, magical, atmospheric, slow burn type of book from what I've heard. And I don't know why I got this book. Again, like I don't know why I got this book. But Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. I mean, I know why I got it. It's a very anticipated release of mine, but I hadn't planned on reading it. And I remember there being some sort of circumstances in which I bought this. I don't know, maybe a sale or something. But I really love this cover and I really hope to love this book. I know it's like inspired by Chinese folklore, very much following the Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It's chunky, but it has like, I've heard it has maybe like a YA vibe, and I'm just, it's in my low fantasy jar, and I hope to be able to get to this soon because I do own it. I'm definitely going to get to it this year though. This was one of my most anticipated releases. I got this because I think I wanted to read it in the winter and I never got to it, so hopefully this winter I will read it, or this year at least. I'll settle for just this year. It's in my cup, I think. Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. I heard about this on Elliot Brooks's channel, and this didn't really interest me until I heard her keep talking about it and talk about how cute it was, and I really like cute YA, so I'm excited to read this. I know this is a Goose Girl retelling that kind of follows the villain of the Goose Girl story, if you know who that is at all. I'm excited. The next one I bought because I planned on reading it sooner than I haven't read it yet, and I don't think I'll get to it till July, but it will be on my July TBR. Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. I bought this once I read The Raven and the Reindeer, because other than that one, this is the one that I was most excited about, other than her new releases. And I've really loved some T. Kingfisher, like The Raven and the Reindeer and What Moves the Dead. And so this is the one I'm most anticipating reading because Reddit speaks so highly of it. And I expected to read it much sooner than I have, but I haven't been able to get to it in the time that I've wanted to. So hopefully July. Then we have a book I have read. Look at that. White Trash Warlock by David R. Slayton. I bought this because I wanted to read it, and I knew that, I knew that the second book was on Audible, and I didn't know when it would be taken off or anything, and I didn't expect the first one to be put on Audible because the second one was on for like a long time. And then I went to pick it up in April or May or something, and I noticed that it was on Audible, so I just sort of immersion read it. It was a good time. It was a 4-star. I recommend it. It's a very good queer urban fantasy if that sounds like your vibe. I'm actually gonna loan this to Mason. Mason's coming soon, so I'm gonna throw this on my bed so that I can give this to him when he comes. Then we have, this was also, I'm pretty sure we're still in February. You can see how I kind of started out okay in January, or maybe not, I don't know. Anyways, this came out in February. I don't know if I got it in February, because I definitely got this from a bookstore, and it was like on sale or something, because I remember picking it up because of this red thread here on the cover that kind of shines. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This was a anticipated release of mine, and I know this is like a YA, I believe it's like Korean mythology retelling about a girl who sacrifices herself to the sea god, and in hopes of saving another girl from her town. And I've heard it's very atmospheric, very Studio Ghibli, very Spirited Away like. That's what it's being marketed as, at least. And I haven't seen any of that, but it does sound like my vibe, because I do love some cute, atmospheric, retelling-esque books. So very excited about this one. I kind of want to get to that one sooner rather than later, so we'll see. Then I got one that I got this on Pango Books, which I love. And I got it for pretty cheap for what it is. Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. I like this cover a lot better than the US cover. This is the UK cover, but of course it doesn't come in hardback unless you get the Fairy Loot edition. I don't love sprayed edges. I don't hate these because I do like the color, but as a rule, I don't love sprayed edges unless it's like stencil. I do like stenciled edges, or like when there's like a design and art on the edge. I just don't love like just like one color. I don't always think it looks good. I do think this purple looks good, but I don't love like black or red or anything like super. I just prefer white pages. I think they look very clean in a way that edges that are not white often don't look. But anyways, that's not neither here nor there. I wanted to read this. This was not on my radar until one of my friends, Stephanie, read it and loved it. And so we have pretty similar taste with YA. Like either we totally align or we have no alignment at all. But we both agreed on Bridget Kemmerer's other book, A Curse, Dark and Lonely, on loving it. And then we both felt like the series was not as good as the first one. And so I think she even liked this better than A Curse, Dark and Lonely. I'd have to check on that, but the way she talked about it made me think that. So I'm excited to give it a try, because if this is better than A Curse, Dark and Lonely, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to love something of Bridget Kemmerer's again. But I originally wasn't into this because I thought it was in the Curse, Dark and Lonely world. It's not. It's very different. I don't want to give you the vibe that it's the same, but it's YA by Bridget Kemmerer, so they're going to be compared somewhat. The next book I got, we're still in February, I'm pretty sure, because I got this one in February. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I got this one because I planned on reading this in February, and I think I did, or at least March. Maybe I got this in March. I don't know. Anyways, I got this because I wanted to read it. I picked it out of the jar, and then I'm pretty sure it got pushed. It was a whole thing, but I really enjoyed this, and I'm happy I did because I wanted this cover. I got the cover before I even read it, but I did read it on audio, and so I'm still happy to have this. I really like this UK cover for it, and I'm just happy that I've read this book, and I'm gonna read the second one when it comes out. Then I think I got these two together, but I'm not positive about that. I have Royal Assassin and Assassin's Quest. I got these when it became clear that I was gonna try to do a read-along for this series on my Discord. That kind of fell apart because it's very hard to do a Realm of the Elderlings read-along because it requires a lot of like time and effort and stamina to like keep one of these going. I've seen like just any read along, hosting any read along, but also it requires a lot of time and stamina to specifically read these books. And like the people I was reading with were just like overwhelmed. So we didn't fully get to these, but I did read Royal Assassin. I finished it last month and I gave it 4.5 stars, or maybe I finished it this month. I don't remember. 4.5 stars. And then Assassin's Quest, I hope to start this month and finish in the beginning of next month. Then I have one that I saw on two actually that I saw on Pango Books. Let's just talk about them together. Oh, we're definitely in March/April territory now. I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know when I bought any of these books. Anyways, the first one I found on Pango Books for pretty cheap, and this book I've found is kind of hard to find. Queen of Sorrow by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the third in a series, but this hardcover edition I found is a little bit hard to get your hands on, so I picked it up when I saw it for cheaper on Pango Books in really awesome condition. So that's what I got. I hope I love this series. I can't imagine not at least liking it enough to continue to the third one, but anyways. And then I bought a book on Pango Books for super cheap that I really, in great condition, that I really love, and that is The Bear and the Nightingale, one of my favorite books from last year, one of my favorite series as of this year when I finished it. Catherine Arden just can do no wrong. Well, the second book wasn't my favorite. Highly unpopular opinion. But I love this first book, and I wanted a copy that is like hardcover and nice and matches my own, because I did find an ARC and was able to get it for free at my local used bookstore a long time ago, and then read that one. But I wanted like one of the shiny nice ones, because I love this too much. And here, this is definitely April. This is definitely April. I don't know if these are my only April books or what. Wait, I wanted to put, hold on, one moment. I wanted to put this separate because I need it for another video that I'm going to film. Definitely, I pre-ordered some April releases. Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel, which I fully intended on reading that month, but I just wasn't in the mood. But either way, I'm happy to have this because I loved Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and I'm pretty sure Mason wants to read it, so he's going to read it before me. It's going to be all good. This cover is beautiful, and it sounds amazing. If you don't know anything about Emily St. John Mandel, she writes like very literary, sci-fi, dystopian-ish, literary fiction-ish type books. I don't really know what her second book is, but this is her third book, and I am highly interested. Then I have another one that Mason may end up reading before me, depending on how much he likes the first book. I got Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. I regret every day because of this freaking cover. And I haven't heard amazing things about this. I've heard good things, but not like amazing things like I heard about Black Sun. And I already liked Black Sun a lot, but definitely less than other people. Like a lot of people said it was like their new favorite book, and it's a really great book. I gave it 4 stars. It's awesome. It's not a new favorite, and most people's ratings have gone down like a whole star. Like they give it 5 stars, they gave it 4 stars, etc. And so I'm just not, I kind of know or expect it to be like a 3-star book, so I haven't really been in the mood for it. And so I might just push it till next year when it's closer to the second book or the third book coming out, because I think that'll just be better for me to do with this series. But anyways, I did get this. I did pre-order it. I was able to pre-order this when, I actually may have pre-ordered a couple others like this when Barnes & Noble was doing like half off pre-orders or something. I think that's how I got Daughter of the Moon Goddess as well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. The next book I got is one that I've already read and Mason has a copy of, but I needed my own so that I could kind of go through it and do a project on it. Peter Darling by Austen Chant. Again, we're in roughly May, April area because that was when I needed to do this project, and I'm happy to have my own copy. Mason and I are going to use one of the copies for like a loaner copy for people, and I'm just happy to always get this in the hands of more people, promote it whenever, and get Austen Chant their coin for whenever I buy it. So the next 4 books I got as a set because I heard that the last 2 were going out of print because this author does a lot of self-pub stuff now and is kind of a hybrid published author. And so I didn't want to miss out on my chance to get them all matching. The Rhaeria Chronicles, which is the prequel series to the Rhaeria Revelations. This is what I got when I backed the Fairlane Kickstarter. Probably should have gotten the Fairlane hardcover too, but we'll settle for these. I love these books. I've read them all at this point. I gave most of them 4 stars, but this first one is actually my favorite, and I gave it 4.25 stars. So that was great. Then we have This was a Christmas gift that got to me late because my Ray gave it to me and she couldn't visit until later in like May or something. I got Malice by John Gwynne. This is the first in the Faithful and the Fallen series. After reading Shadow of the Gods and disliking it, I am not in super much of a hurry to get to this, but I am excited to have it. So thank you, Ray. And I will be getting to it probably next year. And then I got 2 books, but I only have one here because Mason is borrowing the other one. Heir of Novaron is the one I have, Michael J. Sullivan, and I got Rise of Empire as well in super good condition from a used bookstore. Paid nothing for these because I had store credit. Very good. This is my favorite in the series, actually. Rise of Empire was a little bit like, but I loved this one. Then on that same outing with Mason, I got a couple things. Actually, not all of these were gotten on the same day, so I'm just going to put them all together. Mason, that time, I believe he brought me Heartstopper Volume 1, at which point I realized it did not match the second book I had, but it did match the 4th book that I had already gotten. So these two, this was acquired for me by Mason. This was Mason's copy that he gave to me. This one I bought earlier in the year when I was loaning it out in order to loan it out to a student. And I had another copy that I was loaning out to a student, but it was definitely a different size. So that one's gonna be part of my school library. These are my own copies. And in order to match these on that outing, I got volumes 2 and 3, and now they are all so beautiful together. And this was like when Heartstopper had just come out too, so it was like super hard to find them. I was very happy. I also got the Tea Dragon Society there in hardcover because I had a paperback, but that's gonna be a classroom copy or something. So this, I wanted a matching set with my other hardback, so I got this beautiful copy of the Tea Dragon Society. Okay, then I have 6 books that I got all at different types, at different times during the beginning of the year, but the last one was gotten in May. And the last one I had to get was Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. This is altogether the easiest to find in my experience of this series. So Mason, my boyfriend, just got it for me for I think our anniversary or something. Some of these were a Valentine's Day gift, but I can't remember which ones. And then earlier in the months, because the rest of the hardcovers are not so easy to find, I got Age of Swords used. I got Age of War used. Both of those I believe I got from Pango Books. And then I found Age of Legend and Age of Death, both separately, and I think they're new, or at least like new. They could be used. I'm not really sure about these. And then I found Age of Empire new because it was cheap, I think, and it was also, you know, I never know when it's going out of print. Anyways, I recently read Age of Myth and very much enjoyed it, so I'm happy to have all of this series in beautiful hardcovers, and you have paid as little money as possible for all of them. So as I've been saying, we were just in May, so there's really no excuse for this stack that is just like May and June being almost as big as the rest of the year stack. But let's just get into it. So the next three that I have to talk about are also gifts from Mason for my graduation. He got me 3 books of my choosing. The first was Eva Evergreen Semi-Magical Witch because I knew I wanted to read this one. I forget why I knew I wanted to read this one this month, but I definitely put it on my TBR. Oh, I think it was an option for a buddy read, so I just put it on my TBR. Anyways, I'm very, very excited to read this one. I still want to get to it this month. I haven't yet. Then I also wanted to read this month Oak King and Oak King, Holly King. I think I will get to this, but I won't be able to finish it this month. But this reminded me of A Marvelous Light in its conceit. It's like a gay Victorian romance where one of the people is a fae. That's not the case in A Marvelous Light, but it's a similar dynamic of one person who's very steeped in the magical world and one person who's not. So coming together, this one seems more action-packed. I'm just excited. I hope it's good because look at how beautiful this cover is, and some of the fantasy romances I've read have been a bust, one of which I will talk about next, which was the 3rd book that Mason got me, Heart of the Fae by Emma Hamm. I had intended on starting the series this month and continuing it. I did read this. I gave it 3 stars. Not going to continue on with Emma Hamm's works because this was just not for me. I've talked about this a lot recently in vlogs, so I will link that, but you will also hear about it in my June wrap-up. Then I'm putting these 2 together, but I definitely got these at separate times-ish as well, and their dust jackets are on the wrong book, so forgive me. This is the UK Gallant book with the Illumicrate cover, and this is the Illumicrate Gallant book with the UK cover. They're a little bit matchy, I guess, and the Illumicrate cover I think was supposed to be a bit more edgy, but I like the matchy with the roses and this, and I like having this out and this, like the roses pages out, and this dust jacket still be able to be displayed. But anyways, I loved this book, so I got this copy, I got this UK copy to read, and then after I loved it, I invested in the Illumicrate copy when I saw it for pretty cheap. Like, I'm talking half of what they usually go for, or even less so if we're talking about most Illumicrate books. I was very thrilled about that purchase. Then I was at a bookstore. I had some money to get a book. I think what I ended up getting was a Carne by Lynette Noni. I may still have money to get a book. I don't know. Anyways, I got this because I saw it. It was just after I had read this. It was in May. I'm obsessed. So like I had to get this, and I couldn't resist it when I saw it in the shop, just like looking at me. So it was really a lucky find. So I bought this. Love, love, love a Carne. Then another book that I got. This one, I can't remember why I got it. It was partially for my classroom, for prep over the summer, because I do want to teach this book if possible. Redwood and Ponytail by K.A. Holt. Beautiful, beautiful book. I got this for a specific reason, but I cannot remember for the life of me why. What that reason was. Then I have a book that I got this at the same time I got Redwood and Ponytail, and I can't at all remember why. Maybe because they were cheap. I don't know. On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. I loved this graphic novel. There's nothing else to say. I just love it. So perfect. I needed it in my collection finally. I mean, look at that spine. Look at that fish. Ugh, I love it. Then the next book that I got, and this was definitely June purchase. We're in June now, and this one I also just read. For the Throne by Hannah Witten. I don't know if this will stay in my collection. Same with Heart of the Fae. I also gave this one 3 stars. Not going to talk about it because I've talked about it in a lot of vlogs recently, but it's just not as good as the first one for me. Then we have my favorite book of the year, which I did get used, Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is the self-published version. The Orbit version is coming out in June. I think it might be already out, or it's about to come out next Tuesday or something. So very much loved this and highly recommend it. Then I found a book on Pango Books that I just recently read, and I couldn't say no to it. A Psalm for the Wild Built. Loved this book so much. Saw it for cheaper than I can usually get it, and pounced on it. Then I also, on Pango Books, found A Magic Steeped in Poison, the Barnes & Noble edition. So it has like beautiful end papers, cheaper than what you can get at Barnes & Noble, so I wanted to go ahead and grab it. If I don't end up liking it, it'll go straight to the classroom, but either way, I was happy I got it. Then Ray came by, so this is literally like the last couple purchases literally just got in the last like week. But Ray came down to visit again, and we went to 2 bookstores. The first one we went to, I found His Majesty's Dragon in this beautiful edition because I've had trouble finding it on Amazon, and I wanted to jump on it. It was the last copy they had. I was so excited. I don't think it's going out of print because they're going to do like a whole lineup spines with this series, but I love this book, so I wanted it. Then I found The Last Cuentista at a indie bookstore in my town. This is new, paid full price, but it doesn't have any of the Newbery medals on it, and I don't know how long you'll be able to find that, so I wanted to have one with the cover unmarked by them, even though I do think those medals are nice. I just like, look at the symmetry of it. Look at it. Look at the asymmetry of it. Love it. Don't want a medal throwing it off. Then, and this truly is shameful. So then I visited Heather, my best friend, and the vlog that just went up, you can see me with her there. And so while I was gone, this book came, Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, this UK cover. But for some reason, I just didn't think it would be there in time for me to read it. Like, for me to read it for this month. Because I couldn't find any information about it. Like, I didn't cancel it or anything, but it just wasn't, I don't know, I thought something had gone wrong. And so, as a souvenir, I picked up the US edition with the cute little end pages. And this, I thought it would be, this little spine, I thought it would be a safe bet. Because I love T. Kingfisher. I'm currently reading it. It's safe so far. I really like the book. But yeah, I'm excessive, clearly. And that was not very smart of me, but I did it. Then the final thing I got when I visited Heather, we went to a used bookstore. I got some books for my classroom. I'm not showing you any of the books I've gotten from my classroom. Most of them I've inherited from other teachers, or I just have gotten myself for super, super cheap. But I got some at this used bookstore for super cheap. But one that I got just for myself is Bridge of Souls by V.E. Schwab. Very much loved this series. This might be my favorite book in the series. And so I want the whole series in hardcover for myself, but I just found this one used. So very much loved being able to pick this one up. Okay, and that's the last book that I've gotten for now. But between you and me, I have another book purchase coming. And so once that comes in, I will insert a clip right here of me unboxing it or showing you it at least. Yeah. Okay, bookish haul not over. I also went to my front porch to find some things. I opened one of them because I could not wait. I wanted to make sure, but I kind of already knew what they were. They are these metallic-y bookmarks for Skyward. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go put them somewhere. One second. The Doom Slug was broken, but now I have 2 Doom Slug magnets. Okay, so now this next one is the final book that I've bought. Well, not even the final book that I've bought so far, but the final book that I've bought that will come. It's Book Depository. Oh. I'm dumb. Legends and Lattes, one of my absolute favorite books ever. I absolutely adore this book. I give it 5 stars. It's amazing. This is my final book haul. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching and goodbye. I need to do a thumbnail now and I don't want to. Oh, that'll be good.